Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniela and in this video I'm going to be shortening the sleeves on a lined jacket. Here is the jacket I'm going to be working on. I've thrifted this jacket for my daughter and I've noticed that the sleeves are very long for her. I believe they were meant to be worn folded and I would leave them like this, but they are also stained and looking dirty at the ends. That's why I think shortening the sleeves is the perfect solution here. To begin with, I've measured how much shorter I want the sleeves while she was still wearing the jacket. It turned out to be exactly the size of this main fabric cuff right here, so I'm going to use it as a guide. For almost any alteration you need to make on a lined coat or jacket, you need to work from the inside out. That's how the jacket was manufactured, and usually there is a hole left in one of the sleeves lining. And here it is. I'm going to open the hole by breaking the top stitch it was closed with. Let's see what we are about to deal with. The lining was caught at the seam allowance of the main sleeve so that it doesn't show when you wear it. I'm going to remove these little stripes of fabric so that I can release the area I'm going to be working on. You might find a different situation here. For example, the lining might not be fixed. There might be some reinforcement at the hemline or some buttons. In that case, I always try to follow the order the piece I'm working on was manufactured, because this usually gives me the best results. When I was learning to sew, I was taught to do it this way. First, break the joining seam between the main and the lining fabric at the hemline. Second, cut out the amount you need to shorten the sleeves with from both the main and the lining fabric. And last, sew them back together. But if you follow my tutorials for a while, you know that I like to come up with solutions that would save me some time without of course hurting the professional results I'm aiming to achieve. So here's my secret hack. First, I'm marking the amount I need to shorten on one side of the sleeve. The main or the lining, it doesn't matter. I pick the one that is easier to work on. For example, here it would be harder to mark on the batting, so I'm choosing to mark on the lining. Plus, I need to shorten with the size of the piece exactly, so I'm not even going to mark. I'm going to use the seam as a guide. Then, I'm folding the sleeve like this, so that both layers form something like a cuff. I'm going to pin them together, fold the same amount of the main and the lining sleeve, and make a seam at the mark. In my case, I have to shorten a lot and it is going to be a bit harder to insert into the machine. In most cases, sleeves need to be shortened significantly less, so it would be easier to sew. I like to do the sleeves like this for a couple of reasons. First, I mark only on one layer of the sleeve, and this saves time. Second, the lining stays exactly where it is supposed to. When I completely detach the lining from the main sleeve, it sometimes gets twisted and it's harder to adjust it while the whole jacket is inside out through the same sleeve or even the other one. And last but not least, I have the chance to check if the sleeve fits right before I cut. Here I go and sew at my mark. I'm sorry it's not very clear what I do, but I hope you get the idea. This is what it's supposed to look like. It's like the seam allowance is wider and the excess fabric on both layers of the sleeves is locked with the seam we just made. I'm going to go and turn the sleeve inside out in order to check what I've done and possibly try it on. And if I'm happy with the results, I'm going to turn it inside out once again and finish. First, I cut the excess. I want to leave a seam allowance of 3/4 inches or 2 centimeters. I'm measuring down from my new seam, marking and then cutting it out. This sleeve is pretty much done. What's left to do is to fix the lining to the main sleeve with a couple of stitches so that it doesn't show. They've used strips of fabric and I'm going to use them as well. That's because we don't want the sleeve completely restricted and the strips allow for some movement. I'm going to hand stitch them back, folding the sleeve at the hemline and pulling just a bit up so that it holds the lining tucked in. Nothing crazy, just a couple of millimeters. I am turning it once again to see if I like it, and I do, so I'm going to continue with the second sleeve. When I'm done with both sleeves, I flip the jacket outside in and close the hole in the sleeve with a narrow top stitch, just like it used to be. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I hope you liked this video. If so, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get updates when I post a new one. Let me know if you would like to see more random sewing alterations and repair videos. If you use any of my tutorials, tag me on Instagram at Sewing for a Living so I can see it and love it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!